What babies eat has a huge impact on their health and their development, so I am so glad that our friend Dr. Ellen Greene stopped by. It's so good to see you. You're going to help us make healthier decisions for our kids, right?
That's right. We all want our kids to be smart, and we know about verbal intelligence and nonverbal intelligence, mathematic intelligence. In my new book, Feeding Baby Greene, I introduce a new kind of intelligence. I call it nutritional intelligence. And it's learning, it's the age-appropriate ability to recognize and enjoy great food. And too many of our kids aren't nutritionally intelligent.
No, that's true. And adults too.
And
for
adults
that,
too.
For that matter. Congrats on the book, by the way. It's so great to see another one. Love the last one, Raising Baby Greene, and the new edition. You say in your book that babies are built from food. I never thought of it like that. So it's really, really important during pregnancy to start eating right.
That's right. When your baby is born, when you first look into their eyes and count the fingers and toes, everything that you see from head to toe is built out of food that you've been eating.
Isn't that amazing?
So it is, you want to give the best ingredients possible. And not only does it build their body, but also how you eat sets their metabolism for the long run, how they're going to process fat and store fat, and it teaches them the flavors they're going to start liking. Foods that mom eats 12 times during pregnancy, the baby is much more likely to learn to like. They have more taste buds before they're born than any other time later in life.
So they'll really like pickles and ice cream.
So they'll like pickles and ice cream, at least for the first year or so, when you can then teach them, they give it themselves, and then they can form lasting preferences.
But even before they start solids, there are ways to introduce kids to healthy foods, right?
That's
right.
You
say that in your book.
That's right. Well before they start solids. What they see and smell and taste in breast milk will help to imprint in them these desires for flavors. We think that, you know, you're born liking this food or not that food. Our taste preferences are hardwired, yes, but hardwired by early experience.
Okay, now let's talk about what your food goes in for baby, because we can give them healthy food, but if you're putting it in something that's unhealthy, let's talk about BPAs. We've heard you mention it, and we've been hearing a lot about it, but I don't know that people know exactly what a BPA is.
So BPA, or bisphenol A, is an artificial estrogen. The same kind of thing you could give almost as a medicine, but it happens to be great at making plastic hard and transparent. So it's in many different kinds of plastics.
And it's not good.
It's not good, because if it's in a plastic bottle or plastic jar, it doesn't stay in the plastic. It leaches out into the liquid that's inside or in the food that's inside, especially if it's hot or microwaved, or if what's inside is a little bit acidic, or the bottle or jar is worn, then more of it can leach in.
So what should we be using?
So a couple things. It's important to know your plastics and to choose only BPA-free, phthalate-free plastic during pregnancy, and especially during the early childhood years.
Okay.
And so that's for bottles and sippy cups, pacifiers, anything that's going to go into the mouth or that's you're going to store or heat or serve food in.
Okay.
And the way you can find that is looking at the recycling symbol on the side. The BPA is found in things that are recycling symbol 7. So you want to avoid number 7 unless it says BPA free, or to pick a brand that has an entire line of BPA free things. Like Born Free is one that everything in there you know is BPA free.
Okay, and you were telling me earlier there's some numbers that you can actually put in the microwave, because I know parents are really concerned about that.
Right, so with microwaving, anytime you microwave something in plastic, a little bit of the plastic will get into the food.
Okay.
But there's some recycling symbols where we don't know of any toxins that would cause a problem, and that's recycling symbol 1, 2, 4, or 5 are the ones that should be safe in the microwave.
Stay away from 3.
Stay away from 3, 6, and 7.
Okay, and I had no idea about this. You have opened my eyes to the fact that BPAs are found in canned goods.
Right. So
I can't believe
absolutely they're in bottles and cups and that kind of thing, but they're also in the lining in cans between the metal and the food.
Your can of green beans. Or
That's right. So Consumer Reports just tested and found significant levels of BPA in especially some soups and canned green beans. So there you want to either choose fresh food, obviously is great, or frozen in a carton or in a bag is another really good way to do it. Or there are some cans that are BPA free, and you can check on the company's website to find that.
Okay, because it doesn't say it on the cans.
It doesn't necessarily say it on the can so far.
Okay, let's talk about healthy things to feed your kids. You've brought some greens. It's important for them to have those, I know.
Well, one of the reasons that I brought it is because there's a good thing about how you can help prevent BPA damage. We want to decrease exposure. One reason, by the way, is an estrogen. We're seeing a lot of increase in estrogen conditions. Puberty, there was just a study that came out this year that breast development in girls in the 90s started just before the 11th birthday in the early 90s. And today the average age is 9 in 4th grade. And 13% of girls are starting by age 7. In a 2nd grade class, a couple of girls are already developing breasts typically.
Wow.
And that's because of excess estrogen exposure. But we also know that eating green leafy vegetables, things that are rich in folate, can help prevent or even reverse BPA damage. So decrease exposure, but also increase great nutrients right from the start.
Start young.
Start young, and they can really develop a taste preference for it.
Dr. Greene, thank you so much. Always good to see you. And if you would like a copy of Dr. Greene's book, because you have to read it, Feeding Baby Greene is in bookstores now. Thanks so much for watching Parents TV, and we'll see you next time.